For decades, you have been someone who has talked about decolonization and education. And I've seen you quoted about the process of decolonizing, understanding how colonization works, and also how it dehumanizes the colonizer. So why is decolonization and education around decolonization so critical to understanding capitalism and also environmental injustices?
Yeah, those are all tied together. The terrible thing about colonization is that for them to be able to maintain, even though they're a minority, for example, the British were a vast minority in India, but they were able to rule it because of the process of colonization, where they dehumanize the person whose country they take over and whose resources they steal for their own uses. And then over time they teach the people that they have colonized, that they have conquered, that they're second rate, that they're inferior, and all of the tools they have at their disposal, media, everything is used to keep hammering the idea to the colonized people that you are subhuman, you are not acceptable, you're poor because of your own failings, it's your fault, I'm wealthy, what's wrong with you, how come if I made it, why can't you make it? And they trot out examples every so often of a brown face that has made $1 million and is a multimillionaire. And the phrase we use in America over and over is only in America. And they trot out immigrants and say, oh yeah, only in America. Well, that's not true. There's people going from poverty to wealth all over the globe in every single country in every economy. But it's part of the myth, part of the lie of colonization, that America is a shining light on the hill, and that we're the guardians of justice. And the reality is the U.S. since the end of World War II has been responsible for murdering somewhere between 20 and 30 million people in proxy wars and in direct interventions. Need I say Gaza and Israel today? But we can go on all day. Haiti, for years and years, every time we didn't like what was going on in Haiti, we would send in the troops, and now it's completely collapsing because of this continued intervention. The other issue is the border, which is really a hot topic. But why are all these Central Americans trying to get to the U.S.? Because we invented gunboat diplomacy. The U.S., the Monroe Doctrine at the beginning of the 1800s, where we told Europe, this is our area to exploit. And if we didn't like the democratically elected government in, let's say, Guatemala, we used gunboat diplomacy. Literally, we sent in warships to overthrow freely elected governments. We did it as recently as Chile with Allende. We just gave the okay to Pinochet in the military. We sent in the CIA, and we just literally bombed him, and we killed him. That was all Henry Kissinger. That was the U.S. We just keep doing it. And then we act shocked that why don't they just stay in their own country? Because we've stolen everything from them. That's why they're here, because we have their wealth. So it's complicated. I'm making it more simple than it is, but that's the general trend.
Yeah. So we've talked about this in the past, you have a post-capitalist, post-modernity vision for society, especially for indigenous and Mexicano, Chicano people and working people in New Mexico. And you've talked to me about this idea of back to the future.
Yes.
Will you talk about this vision?
Well, yes, because future sociologists now are just starting to write about prefigurative models for a post-capitalist economy. For me, it means, in New Mexico, it means for our communities, going back to the future. That is, all of our Puebloan communities still exist and always existed and lived in communal models. They had kivas, they had clans, they had kinship, and they still have that. So they were accustomed as a way of operating in the world and with each other to do it as a communal exercise always. And in land-based Chicano communities here in New Mexico, we had acequias, which are communal models. Land grants were communal models. And those were economic models, not just social models, but religion, economy, social life, all of our social interactions in both our indigenous communities in New Mexico and the land-based Chicano communities that have been here about 400 years. Were communal models. That's how we lived. And we've gotten away with it. We've gotten away from it because of the capitalist system and the emphasis on individual achievement and my achievement, my success at your failure and that kind of stuff. So what we preach in our economic development models and in our work every day is, let's just go back to the future. So we form co-ops. We try to get them to incorporate as co-ops, which the capitalist system still permits. They're communal models of owning the means of production. So we get them. So we don't call them clans or kinship, but our communities are very familiar, and they have not forgotten how to work cooperatively. So and we're not always successful because the impacts of colonization have created huge destruction. We've internalized colonization, so people don't feel they're worthy of success. I mean, it's and we medicate ourselves. So we have a huge alcohol, fentanyl, heroin problem all over rural New Mexico in our communities. And it's wiping them out. It's hollowing out our rural communities, and we're trying to fight against that.
Yeah. So this is like a conversation that I feel like we all want to have, or many of us want to have, and we don't know how to. So I thought you and I could have it. So I feel like something that many of us struggle with is divisiveness and disinformation. And I would love to hear your thoughts on how we recognize and respect one another's differences while also building relationships and sowing love and figuring out ways to sustain long-term movements against systems like capitalism that harm people and the environment.
And I wish there was one simple answer to that, but there isn't. It's a complex, capitalism is very complex and constantly changing and adapting to meet threats to its existence. But I think we have to do a lot of things. There's no one silver bullet. So I think there's a lot of really fantastic communities and peoples all actively working within the existing political system, and they're having impact. Here in New Mexico, I know there's a lot of groups that are working to change issues, and I think they've changed the makeup of the legislature. There's younger, more progressive people now in leadership positions in both the House and Senate. And that's a good thing because overall we're getting better legislation that comes out of that is helping poorer communities and more impacted communities. So we have to do the ongoing work every day, like, voting, blah, blah, I don't think so. We can get cynical. It's easy to get cynical. We have to do that, but we can also do our own things. We have to start creating our own systems that are maybe small scale, but that can grow over time, that we own, that we control, that benefit us directly, and that force us to become smarter, more adept, and more agile in everything we do. Love is the most powerful force in the world. I went through a period when I was first starting out as a young activist where I hated white people, or I thought I did. And I went through about a year where I told all my white friends, don't call me, I never want to see you again. All white people are devils, and I'll run them over if I see them out on the street. Oh, of course I didn't. But I did go through a period where I felt hatred in my heart. And then after about a year, I noticed that it was doing a lot of damage to myself. So I decided that's not a good path, and that really the only way for us to succeed is we have to work on ourselves, understand if there's internal colonization issues, we'll work them out. It's not easy to face ourselves and be honest about who we are and what our failings might be and how we become better. And then it's real hard to have the courage to open yourself to others and just say, you know what, now I try to follow what Martin Luther King said, which is in his famous speech, we should judge each other by the content of our character and not the color of our skin. So that's the mantra we use at the center. Like, I don't care what color, shape, I don't care who, I don't care what kind of dog you have. Really, are you a person of good soul and good heart? And if you are, I'm willing to engage with you, and I don't care what color you are or anything else. And I think that's the path for us to find the humanity in each other and then try to nurture that, respecting boundaries, but still being open to others. The reason there's so much hatred, I think, in the world is we're always looking for how we're different, instead of the fact that, we're these little creatures on this beautiful small planet spinning through space, and we're earthlings. And I call all my Earth Day buddies Earthlings when I write them, and when I call them, I say, "Hello, Earthlings." But that's all we are. We're all there's really no difference between us, and we should celebrate the cultural uniqueness of each other, but at the end of the day, we're on this ship together. And if we don't figure out how to fix it, we're all going to go under together.
Yeah. Arturo, I appreciate all that I've learned from you over the years. I appreciate all you've done for New Mexico, and I really appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks so much. It's been fun, and let's do it again sometime.
Thanks.
Thanks, Laura.